and welcome to another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
And I'm Drew Head.
I am Paul Braggin.
And I'm not going to screw your last name up this time, I swear to God.
If you know what, if the worst thing that happens, and I told this to people a lot, that if the worst thing that happens to me in a day is somebody mispronounces my name, like that's a great day for me.
Yeah, dude, honestly. And you even like broke it down phonetically for me. You were like, it's like Reagan, but with a B. And I fucking just
Bacon.
Mm.
So am I saying this right? Paul Bobama? Yeah, you got it.
crushed it. I don't even remember what I said, but I remember editing it and I was like, God, Brian, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, you fucking piece of shit.
Welcome to episode 2 of... How do you say it?
I'll do the honors because you're trash. So last week, we're actually doing this, oddly enough, back-to-back weeks, Mr. Braggin. We're doing this back-to-back weeks, and we are now going to call this the Comedy Cache. Comedy Cache. It is not going to be an interview. The three of us would like to sit down and talk about things that are funny, things that we're workshopping, different bits, skit ideas, and this is all like free. So like if you're listening to this and you hear something really, really dope and you're a comedian, at this point, we're just putting it out there. So fucking take it, dude. Like, we don't care. So that's what it's for. It's just we're going to have fun, drink a little bit, talk about some funny shit. So anyways, you were talking
I wanted to know, like,
right before
we were checking the screen recording here. Then under recently visited, we got, is that Twitter or Instagram with some ass bunny?
It's Twitter.
So that brings up a good point. Onlyfans. We talked about it briefly a little bit ago. I don't remember how it was brought up, but my thing is, so I have like my Instagram feed is just like big booties all day, big boobs, booties, all that
really
stuff.
Got Brian figured out on an algorithm.
Yeah, that's all it is. That and Miami Dolphins. That's my entire Instagram fucking feed.
So is there like one of like Dan Marino in a bikini on there? Like combine the two loves of your life?
With
He's just
AI,
twerking his ass. Yeah. But anyway, so it made me think though. Every time you find, like, if you say you click on one of those big booty broads on IG and you go to their link in bio, you know what I mean? And in that same description, they'll always say like, "I'm in the top 0.001% of OnlyFans," and it's like, I think it's funny because like, how am I supposed to trust you with ratios when what you do is shake your ass and, you know, possibly take wiener for a living? I don't know if your math skills are up to snuff.
To be fair, it's just like with YouTube and like analytics for the podcast. Sometimes you'll talk about, we have viewers in like on every continent and whatever.
I can see that.
It tells you.
So
YouTube
you think they're
analytics, like YouTube Studio, tells you.
So they're not doing the math.
No.
Okay, that's good because I was concerned and also thought they were all liars.
Like Shane has that OnlyFans dad bit that he's been doing on like Gillian Keeves and Saturday Night Live.
Oh, Jesus.
But I wonder like if you could do one, it's like OnlyFans dads, but it's like dads just doing work around the house.
Yes, dude. I'm here for that.
There actually is a YouTube channel, and sadly, like, the guy's dad left when he was young, and so he didn't have a dad growing up. And so when he became an adult, he started a YouTube channel called Dad, How Do I? And then it's like how to change the oil in your car, how to do home repair stuff.
Right.
Like, what do they call it? DIY? Do it yourself stuff?
And I saw somebody posted on the interwebs somewhere, and it was a headline from, let's say, I don't know, the New York Times.
Yeah.
And it was talking about how the headline was like, millennials are enrolling in classes on how to like do home repair, you know, and then somebody made the comment, what it should read is something to the effect of, baby boomers didn't teach their kids how to do, like every generation taught the next one how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then sadly, like millennials didn't get taught a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we didn't. I really didn't. Are you a millennial?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Then, well, like, I just wondered, so like, would you be a hooker if like you like say a female paid, like you were talking about like paid stuff earlier before the show.
Yeah.
Like if like a female, like if you bought your wife a guy that would come over and listen to
her complain about her day.
Right. Is that a hooker or like?
No, I mean you could you're selling your time. You're not selling
Your body.
So you could put that on like Craigslist or like Angie's List.
Would you be an escort then, or because you're not really escorting them
A
anywhere?
street therapist.
A stay-at-home, an in-house keeper. I don't know. Where do you divide the line of like butler and fucking
at-home escort? That we should start a side gig called at-home escort.
Laundry.
In-home. I don't know. You'd have to come up with a fucking sweet name. We should workshop that.
Maids could be like your laundry escort.
Yeah.
Your cleaning escort.
Yeah,
like, what if they just changed it all to escort?
Yeah. No, because technically an escort, like you said, you're just selling your time.
Yeah.
You don't have to
If you
sex.
happen to fuck,
Yeah.
that's
a different story, man. But
being paid is unrelated to that.
yeah, I don't know, man. I think sugar babies are pretty tight. Sugar babies, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you have the sugar daddy, and then he's got his sugar baby.
Well,
Well, the sugar daddies are candies, right?
a lot of times, yeah. But a lot of times, like, they don't have sex. Like, these older gentlemen, they just want to have, like, these young, hot women to, like, take to parties and stuff.
Yeah, or what I think is sick is old dudes will like pay a woman to just like bully him, like be mean.
Ooh,
Which
yeah.
I would, if there's an old gay man out there,
I will bully the fuck
I will be
shit out of
so mean to you.
He said, I will step on your balls so many times, as many times as you want.
Dude, I can see Drew and like,
So you want to bully an old gay man? I feel like it's called the Human. There's a group. I think it's called the Human Rights Commission. I think is the name, and I feel like they're going to get very upset at that idea.
No, I'm not necessarily bullying him for being old or for being gay.
Actually,
I'm bullying him because he's pathetic and is paying me to be mean to him.
and that's what he wants.
Yeah,
That's what he wants.
it's consensual bullying.
Yeah, but a lot of consensual stuff goes on where people say, "Oh, that shouldn't be happening."
Yeah, like drug sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
That
true.
should be happening.
Paul,
legal.
did you ever mess with your sibling? Do you have siblings, right?
Yeah, I got a brother. We were talking about this.
he like turned black for a second. He's like, "Yeah, I got a brother." No, I'm joking. Sorry.
I don't ever remember pulling any pranks on him growing up.
Really?
Yeah, and
Were
I
you
mean,
younger or older?
I'm older.
So you didn't like put your hand in front of the TV receiver so you couldn't change the channel?
Oh
on
no,
there?
did I maybe try to put his hand in warm water a couple times, and maybe it didn't work.
Make him pee himself.
Yeah, I think maybe I tried that a couple times, but with like no good results.
I don't know if I ever did any
I got
pranks.
2 good ones that I
You
pulled.
did 2 good pranks on
one on my
your
sister and one on my stepbrother.
Oh, I didn't know yet. Who's your stepbrother?
Not stepbrother anymore, but stepbrother at the time.
Nice, sick, dude.
So like,
love a good divorce.
My stepbrother, there was this creek, and we would go play in it all the time. And had like those 2 like aluminum dome circles or whatever that they build bridges over, whatever they're called.
Oh, a
galvanized
culvert?
culvert. Yeah,
Yeah, culvert.
So we would clog one up and then like set off like the works and aluminum foil underneath it and like make a loud boom.
yeah.
Or like one side would flow with water, you hang out in the other, smoke your cigars, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we took our stepbrother with us one time, and there was a sign that said invisible fence for like the dogs and stuff, So I had convinced him that the invisible fence was an invisible electric fence, and you had to step over it or you'd get shocked. So me and my buddy would walk up and like step over the fence super carefully.
Oh no!
And
dude.
he was like, I don't want to do this, guys. Like, I don't want to do. Like, he thought that there was an invisible electric fence above the ground.
He swore to God that he was.
And then
about
like,
to
so
get
like we kept it
electrocuted.
going, a few times, and then like we like on the way out, we just walked through it, and he was like, "What the fuck, guys?" Like he was just so thrown off. Oh man,
That's rich. And you had a second one too?
yeah. My sister had a school project where like you had to like take a bunch of family photos and like bring them in.
Yeah.
And there was one, and she's like, "Look at me and you from when we were growing up." And I'm like, "That's not you." And she was like, "What? What do you mean?" And I was like, well, like, first of all, like, you can't tell mom. This story is super sensitive to mom. But I was like, before you were born, I had another sister named Charlie. and Charlie died in a car crash, and then that's what you were born for. And she immediately ran inside crying to our mom. She's like, Mom, I'm so sorry. Thomas told me about Charlotte or something. And my mom's like, who the fuck is Charlotte? You know?
Fucking Charlotte.
What does she not understand about this? Is real sensitive to Mom, so don't say anything.
Right.
Yeah, dude, let me get some
I
eyes.
was like, yo, Mom doesn't talk about this.
So since you brought it up, so this wasn't a prank, but I had a friend growing up who he had a dog, and they had an invisible fence.
Thanks,
And
man.
my brother, the genius,
Put it on.
he put on the dog collar and
Oh,
then
no.
ran along the invisible fence.
How bad was
I've
it?
absolutely done that.
How bad is it?
I mean, he was never normal to begin with, but like it didn't do
It's
any
not
real damage.
that bad.
If
Honestly,
you keep running, you're good. It cuts out after a certain distance.
Yeah, because that's what happens. Like once a dog learns that he can go through the fence, if they're dead speed through in it, you know what I mean? Like they'll just keep going.
it's also like it's meant for a dog, and it doesn't seriously injure the dog. It's not going to seriously injure you.
a 200-pound man or something. You know what I mean?
Well,
well,
Drew's
at
like
the time, I was
130.
like 80 pounds.
Oh, so you're like the size of a dog.
Pretty much.
you
but-
you may still be
I mean,
the size of a
my-
dog.
There are definitely dogs that weigh more than I do.
What are you weighing in at? I gotta know now. Are you 160? 150?
Drew's like probably
It
130.
Depends on the day. I think most I've ever weighed was probably close to 160.
Damn.
The last time I weighed myself, I think I was like 140.
Yeah.
So small.
Gee, yeah, you are a petite man. You are a petite
Yeah, our dogs
man.
used to have like the bark collars that go off when they won't shut the fuck up.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. And so we would we figured out that if you like run it across like we had a gazebo, so we would run it across the wooden rail of that
Yeah.
and then like put it on our skin and it would shock you.
Oh.
I don't know why we were doing that, like for fun.
Yeah, because you're sadistic.
We were stupid.
You're a
Yeah.
masochist.
We did a lot of stupid shit. Like we used to put like hand sanitizer
Light it on fire.
and light it on fire.
You know, when you pulled up today, Drew, you were dressed in all black, and I made the joke that you were dressed like a ninja today. Now that you've let your hair down and you're telling me these terrible stories, I honestly think you're just a serial killer. So
I plead the fifth.
that's wild, though. No, I've never. Have you ever done any good pranks to your siblings, though?
I mean, I don't know that I really did pranks. I would annoy them.
Damn.
Like
that.
one time, me and my sister, annoyed the shit out of our older brother after school. One day, we were like chasing him around the pool,
Yeah.
and he just jumped into the pool fully clothed, like shoes and everything, because
Nice.
we pissed him off that much.
Oh, yeah.
Does
too
he
much
not realize
stimulus.
you can still say like terrible things to him while he's in
While
the
in
pool?
the
He just
water.
sat at the bottom of the pool for like a minute.
Yeah,
It's
he
like I
didn't-
can't hear you under the
Yeah.
water.
And now Drew doesn't have a brother anymore, so he actually drowned that day. So
As we were talking, something kind of came to mind. I wouldn't call this a prank, but and this you could maybe say, because we talked last time I was here about me getting into comedy. I don't remember if this is before I was ever on stage for the first time or not, but I was the best man at my brother's wedding, and so I got to give the best man speech.
ooh,
And I said, you know, you maybe made a terrible decision having somebody who's a stand-up comic give your best man speech and who's known you your entire life. And one of the
we
things
did talk about this. I do vaguely remember this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I did, I talked about how, you know, we had some fun growing up and maybe I was better than him, I don't know. And one of the things I mentioned, I said my brother's made the best decision of his life marrying this woman who's now his wife. I said, I've seen some of the bad decisions he's made in his life. Like one of them was when we were kids, the local library had a Lego building contest, and you know, he entered something even though he was clearly outmatched by a superior architect, me. And here's the thing, like I didn't put any effort into mine, but I still won.
Yeah.
And I'm not a good architect. I don't know anything about building with Legos, but I still
Engineering,
but I still won. And so I said, "Yeah, you got beat by somebody who's clearly better than you." And then I pulled out the trophy I won. It's this very small trophy,
Oh,
but it looks.
God.
I mean, it looks kind of nice. It's on like a marble base. And so I pull out this
Classy
trophy.
as shit for a Lego building competition.
I pull out this trophy and put it on the table in front of him, and I say, "Yeah, you can look at that today, but I will be taking that back with me." And then later in
you
the
can even touch it if you want.
and then later in the day, I drank bourbon out of that trophy.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
such a classy move.
Yeah.
Such a classy
My brother's
move.
getting married next year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Actually,
Sorry for your loss.
His fiance is awesome.
Oh, okay. She's
great.
sick, but also
Yeah.
maybe it's worth losing your brother. I don't know.
Is
this
not
the one
dying?
Is this the one that almost drowned?
Yeah, I have one brother. But
I need to meet this fella.
speaking of best man speeches, if he doesn't ask me to be his best man, or at least give a speech,
would be pissed.
I'm
said
gonna
I'm
be
unplugging that
pissed.
microphone.
I'm burning this wedding to the fucking ground.
His
I
best
will
man
cause
stands
such
up
a
with
scene.
His best man stands up with a microphone. It's not connected. Drew's got it connected, and just like, all right, I'm the best man now. Like,
Yeah, dude. Swear to
I
God.
can settle for not being the best man. I need to at least be a groomsman, and if I'm not, there's going to be some issues
What's your
at
brother-
the next family get together.
Wait until they ask Drew to do the photos and video.
I've already told them no.
Oh, that would be so mad. What's your brother's name?
Matt,
All right, Matt. I hope you're watching this. Does he watch our podcast at all?
I don't even know
You're
if
gonna
he
need-
knows that I do it.
You're going to need to make him watch this. Matt, I highly suggest that you make him a groomsman and or best man.
I'm gonna go best man.
Yeah, you have one
How do
brother.
I put this? I feel like as a general rule, a brother should be a best man whenever
Yeah.
possible. A sister should be a maid of honor whenever possible.
Yeah.
There can always be some exceptions, but
Unless
that should be
your
your go-to.
Unless your only brother or sister sucks ass, then
Right, they're like
Sure.
shooting heroin up before.
Yeah.
well,
If your sibling sucks shit,
I
then
kind of want to see a heroin addict give a best man speech.
Yeah,
he
if
just
heroin,
nods
I
off
could-
mid-speed.
yeah, heroin. I would still let him be my best man. If it was like meth, now we're getting.
This is
know.
going to be a
They're like
40-minute
walking,
long speech.
They're like walking up and down the ceremony steps on repeat.
yeah, dude. They just like break out into a fucking stand-up comedy
Jokes on
bit.
you. That's who you get to usher your wedding. You're gonna be so
So efficient.
yeah. So many people sat so fast.
So fucking fast, dude. Grandma just losing her purse. He's like, sit the fuck down, old lady. Jesus Christ, I got 40 other people.
Sprints down the middle.
I like the idea of grandma losing her purse because I'm imagining a trail of Werther's Originals going from the back of the church to the front of the church
Yeah, you don't even need a flower
Like,
girl. It's just grandma's
butterscotch
hands.
for Hansel and Gretel to follow on their way back.
She also has Alzheimer's, so that's good for her. She'll know where the exit is.
My dad's never gotten into stand-up comedy, but he can be funny sometimes, and he's made comments before like, the great thing about having Alzheimer's is you get to hide your own Easter eggs. Or, the great thing about Alzheimer's is every time you look in the mirror, you make a new friend.
And your dad was sitting front row at the show that I went to like 3 weeks ago
Over at Damsel's.
or 4 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Isn't that a crazy concept though to think about? Is like, have you seen like animals react to mirrors? Like a gorilla looking at itself in the mirror and the way it reacts.
you pull this up?
Pull up a gorilla. Just go to YouTube and search gorilla.
We're
mirror.
actually using the monitor for the first time.
But like some animals
Sick.
don't recognize. They don't have that self recognition. I
Just
wonder,
go to
like,
videos
If
or-
Alzheimer's, if it's watch this.
we won't be able to hear the audio because we're too poor for headphones.
I have it muted anyway.
Okay. Yeah, and that's good.
But
'cause-
like, so they like stroll up.
and he just
Scares
rolls the
him.
fuck out, dude.
They're like asserting dominance.
Oh no, dude. He's like looking off to the right. Like what
But like, could you imagine just some buff?
We
Because that's how
should
they
always
assert
have-
dominance is like hitting the ground and like
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I wonder if identical twins do anything like that.
I should ask my wife.
There's got to be a dominant twin.
My wife. Yeah, for sure. 100%, dude. She'll fucking
Are they identical?
yeah, identical. You ever seen My Cousin Vinny? You ever
Yeah.
seen the film My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
You have seen it?
Yeah.
Where like the boys are in jail and then their Uncle Vinny has to like get them out of jail.
Yeah.
Or
Talking
my-
about Prison
Their
Break.
cousin Vinny or something. I can't remember what it's called. Do you know what movie I'm talking
My
about?
cousin with Joe Pesci and Marissa
Yeah,
Tomei.
Joe Pesci.
I haven't seen it yet, and it won.
It's so
well,
good. It's so good. It's so good.
I haven't seen it yet. The the theory going around is that Marissa Tomei may have performed favors in exchange for her Oscar. I hope not.
I would
could
perform
see that.
favors.
Even if she did, which probably not true, but if she did, good for her.
Yeah, dude, fucking get you a slice, man. No, but in my
I'm
cousin,
having a blast watching these videos.
I just leave it running, honestly, dude. But in my cousin Vinny, they're talking about the tire tracks from the two cars or whatever, and he was like, "These tire tracks right here are identical, identical." This old Southern man. That's so. Every time I hear the word identical, I literally do that. Identical. I don't know why. It's not that funny, but I just thought it was an honorable mention. Also, we needed to talk about gigolos today too, right? You can't say gypsy.
Well, I mean, you say
Traveler.
that.
Traveler.
Well, and I think Roma is a popular term now. But I like,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's like
so
the
you know
same
what I'm talking
Romania.
about.
they are.
You can't say gypsy. It's not politically. Cheers to that, because you know.
Here's the thing, like,
He knows.
what's her face?
He gets it.
Cher.
She's a-
Yeah, I mean, well, no, but I mean, she's America's sweetheart, basically. She had a song, and
She's
this was
109 years old.
Yeah.
You can't be a sweetheart
and
at that point.
she had a song, I want to say back in the 70s when she was 84 years old, called Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. And so again that was
Is that
like,
a Marilyn Monroe diss song?
no.
It's a diss track.
Diss track, yeah. Well, if it was a diss track, are you really gonna diss somebody in the 70s who died in 1962?
Yeah. Dude, could you imagine? That's a funny thought, though. What if they had like Rat Pack diss tracks, like Frank Sinatra talking shit about Sammy Davis Jr. and shit?
See, those guys loved each other. I would hate to think that those guys would ever have a falling out.
I know, dude.
Like,
Like, there
I
was-
mean, people say that about like Drake and Future now.
Wait, they were both. Didn't they both get touched by?
They did albums together. No, that was Meek Mill.
Oh, okay.
Meek Mill got the diddler.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about that?
I mean,
You know Meek Mill?
Hypothetically.
I know the
knows?
name, but I've been hearing stuff that
Yeah, he got fiddled by
Mr.
Jay-Z.
Combs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not Jay-Z.
No.
Puff
Mr.
Daddy. Sorry, Puff Daddy. Not Jay-Z.
the
Puff
diddler.
Daddy.
It's
Yeah.
P. Diddy.
Mr.
Yeah.
Combs.
P. Diddy.
I mean,
Puff
if
Daddy
anything
is P.
goes,
Diddy.
if
P.
anything
Diddy is
goes
Puff
to
Daddy.
court, it's going to be Mr. Combs.
Yeah, Mr.
Justin definitely got touched.
I saw a
Bieber?
clip.
Oh yeah.
Biebs got fucking.
Justice Bieber was like 15 years old. And this is a real short clip that I saw on the Twitters, I think, where Mr. Combs was like, he was standing next to Justice Bieber. He's like, "Man, we're gonna have a crazy weekend," and Justin was like, "Yeah." And this was after everything came out. It was,
Have you seen the Nickelodeon thing?
Quiet on Set.
Where Drake,
watched that
I
whole
watched it,
thing.
and then so like Drake Bell comes out and talks about like how he woke up like at 12 to like getting his dick sucked. Who's complaining?
I'm not.
Well, depending
I mean,
on who.
if you're 12 years old waking up getting your dick sucked,
Hang-
Getting your dick sucked by a creepy middle-aged man.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
just keep your eyes closed.
The thing
It's fine.
The thing we always
like
if
he
we're-
was fucking that couch before he woke up.
Yeah, probably.
You
What
know-
you were gonna say?
Well, like the thing the people kind of go back to is every time a teacher gets accused of something with a student, and it's like the hot teacher.
God.
Anytime the hot teacher does something, it's like, where was the hot teacher when I was in school doing that?
Facts.
But if it's the unattractive teacher,
Yeah, if it's the music teacher,
yeah, it's a good thing
She could blow.
It's a good thing my dad didn't become a music teacher, I guess. We mentioned. See, I feel like I can't show this podcast to my parents. We mentioned
probably shouldn't.
We mentioned last time
we
I was
probably
here
shouldn't.
that my dad went to like a specialized music and art high school
Yeah,
in
yeah,
New York
yeah.
City, and he wanted to be a music teacher. But then, right when he graduated, there was some kind of like a teacher strike in New York City, so they weren't hiring any teachers. So he ends up in Evansville working in radio.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's actually the way to go, I think. I don't think I would want to be a music teacher. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Oh,
seen
no.
American Pie?
But I think if you're like a musician now, like, so like if you're doing music now and you don't want to be a music teacher when you're like 60, like, are you like, you think you're going to do music your entire life, like make music that entire time? Or are you going to give back to that genre?
I don't know that I understand your question. That was awfully wordy.
So like
Yeah.
a musical career, like you're in a band, and then when you're like 70, you're gonna be a music teacher because you can't like be touring and shit.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Essentially, yeah. Or like if you're Cooper and you do a whole bunch of paintings, if you don't make enough money to retire, which Cooper probably will, But like, if you don't make enough money to do that, are you like, you think I Am Cooper's going to go to college and be an art teacher with all the stuff that he's got?
Here's maybe another possible
There's other
idea.
avenues.
That's an intriguing thought.
Because if we're talking about like, and this works better if you have some level of fame and money to begin with at some point in your career. You say, hey, everybody, like, I'm retiring from the road, but once a month I'm going to be at this bar in my hometown performing. Or like the one I always think of, and I mean, he still tours, and I want to see him because I'm American, and you know he's a national treasure. But like,
God bless you.
Regardless of whatever else he's doing, like Billy Joel does one show every month at the Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Piano Man.
And so it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you know, I'm going to be there.
Drew,
Yeah.
will you look up? Do prostitutes have to pay taxes?
Yeah, I wonder if do they
It's not legal income, so probably not.
escorts is
Some
a,
places,
escorting
like
is a
in
legal
Ne-
income.
in
Do
Nevada.
No, don't put prostitutes because those. No, that's just a hooker. Just put escort.
What I've heard, and I'm not, don't take my word on it necessarily, is I think there's something on the tax form where it says, enter here any money you earned illegally, because then like they'll tax
that's
it.
kind of bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. The thing I always go back to is Al Capone was arrested and sent to jail finally for tax evasion because he had a business card that said he was a furniture dealer. And so it's like, here's your armoire, and oh my gosh, it's stuffed full of alcohol.
Nice. Nice.
And then they got him for tax evasion.
So here we found per Quora.com. Quora.com. Do escorts pay taxes, and do they deduct for business expenses? The answer is yes in both cases, at least in the United States.
Could you imagine
Escorting-
like
I'm not done yet.
escorting-
I'm
what-
not done yet.
Could you imagine
Escorting-
escorting and then being like, the
God damn
guy pays for dinner, but you're like, can I get that receipt?
You're the fucking worst podcast co-host. Escorting is legal in all 50 states. You can always deduct business expenses from your income. So the answer is they do pay taxes. Now, I don't think prostitution is going to be the same thing because they get paid in cash typically. It's not like you guys have a fucking Venmo or
It
something. Well, they
says
might have Venmo.
Prostitutes are expected to report their wage to the IRS.
I mean, they're expected to. Yeah, the IRS wants everyone to pay taxes because they want your
Dude,
money.
But so they can-
But, like-
fucking bitch,
So the
dude.
government can make money off sex, but they can't.
Yeah, we can arrest you for it and also tax you for it. So this is bullshit. This is the problem, dude. And prostitution is the oldest fucking trade in human race. Like since humans have been a race alive and fucking trading, sex work is the oldest. Just fucking
Right, I'll fuck you for a goat.
Yeah, just make it legal, dude. I need some I got to put food on the table, man. And this guy needs a beach. Hook it up. Hook it the fuck up, dude. Fucking quit fucking around. And if the IRS is taking their tax money, that's bullshit, dude. Just fucking make it legal. This is fucking just make it legal, dude.
I wonder
I'm
how many
sorry.
OnlyFans people are struggling with their taxes right now.
Dude, that's the number one. Like, so the 0.0001 girls that are making like $200,000 a year on OnlyFans, they get fucking R-worded on fucking taxes.
I mean,
For
yeah,
real.
if you make a lot of money, you're gonna get taxed more.
It's the way that their money
Well,
falls.
they're not putting money back.
Yeah,
for
they're
it.
not, because it's you can fill out your taxes before you start a job, right? Like, I want this much withheld, et cetera, et cetera. They're just starting an OnlyFans and not taking care of the taxes. So they're just raking in this pile of cash, and then they have nothing withheld, and then they get R-worded.
Imagine how many OnlyFans managers are out there taking a cut, but not helping them like set back money for their taxes.
I also just realized now that it sounds like I'm saying they're retarded, but that's not
I
what
thought
I'm
about
saying.
that also.
Yeah.
They are being victimized. Can I say violated?
Unconsensually.
I wouldn't say victimized because then they're all going to play that card.
Yeah, let's not give them that fucking ammunition.
I got 250K subscribers and they're all just taking advantage of me.
I guess we could just say raped. They're getting raped on taxes, and that'll get bleeped out. But yeah, they do, man. They get fucking manhandled on their taxes, man. Bullshit.
Speaking of manhandled, you were talking about getting pulled over.
Yeah,
it's a good thing you're white, man. They would have. I'm joking.
Yeah, I bet you they didn't ask you if you had any guns or drugs in the vehicle.
No,
did they?
no.
Actually, you got
I
harassed
get
by
asked.
yeah, you get harassed by the cops all the time,
Yeah.
dude. No, but what was your scenario? What happened? What was going on with that?
I was driving in an unfamiliar area, and I didn't realize I was in a school zone until I saw the sign that said, "You're leaving the school zone. Thanks for stopping by. Come back and see us again real soon." And then red and blue lights right behind me. And so I did everything I know to do to like make it the most pleasant situation for the officer as possible. Like so I'll just say this: if you ever get pulled over, what you're supposed to do, if you can, get out your license and registration as soon as possible, like before he's able to get up to your car, and have your window rolled down with your license and registration in your hands, facing up on the steering wheel so that you don't have to reach for anything, so that he sees you're not a threat. And so I'm doing my best to do that.
Yep.
Do you leave your car running?
Did I? Oh, I don't know.
What fucking weird question is
Well,
that?
I mean, I guess you could if your car is running, it's a lot easier to try to make an escape at that point.
Yeah.
And so he says license and registration. You are. He goes back to his car and just immediately comes back. Here's your speeding ticket, loser. I didn't have a chance to tell him how special my grandma always said I was. He just went right to the ticket.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. Can we come up with some sort of like a non-binary, asexual, gender fluid version of showing your breast to a police officer?
I like
that.
that.
Like the rest of us.
It's license, registration, Krispy Kreme gift card.
But is that too offensive though? Because we're playing into the stereotype.
Then you might just get charged with
bribing
bribery.
the officer, and you're like, no, look, here's an envelope. I give it to every cop that pulls me over. Like,
Dude, I'll tell you what. That's
Like
I
a
like
manila
that.
folder?
What do you do? Do you just like if
Did
you're
you
a
say,
dude?
did you say vanilla folder?
Manila?
Okay, I was gonna make
I
That
got-
sounds delicious,
I got
a vanilla
pulled over
folder?
once in a school zone as well. I was in my dad's truck.
What is the
Which
situation
is-
with school zones?
Well, when you're not in school,
Tom
you
hangs
kinda
out there a
forget.
lot.
Yeah, with my binoculars.
Drew just fucking
But-
roasted you.
So, like-
oh my god,
My grandpa was dying in the hospital,
so good.
and my car was acting up. So I had my dad's truck, and I was not in school. So when you're not in school, you don't think about school zones really. And I got pulled over, and as I get pulled over, I'm in my dad's truck, ex-con, possible gun, gun license, registration stuff in
Yeah.
it. Dude, I literally get pulled over. Next thing I know, I'm boxed in. Like there's a cop on every side of me. And then this cop walks up and he's like, "Why are you in a hurry?" And I was like, "What?" I was going the speed limit. He's like, "No, you're in a school zone and you're going like 45 and a technically 25." He's like, "Any weapons or anything like that?" And I was like, "No, dude, like you're reading the plates as my dad. I'm not my dad.
I mean, I know I'm Tom Grimm, but also
I'm trying to get to the hospital to see my dying grandpa, and then like he was gone for like 10 minutes back there, and then like came up and he's like, "You're good to go. Here's a warning."
he let you go
because they called in so many cops and like literally boxed the truck in, and I was like 18 at the time. Like I was freaking out. So I think since they freaked me out so much, he was like, "Oh, you can go."
Yeah.
I never get a fucking warning.
No, dude.
They always give
You
me a
get-
fucking ticket.
Dude,
I've gotten a bunch of warnings up to that point, and then that's the first ticket. And so what I want to do, I'm a broke comedian, so I want to make that money back. Because I got defensive driving, which is cool, but you still got to pay some fines.
Yeah.
And so this idea I've come up with, the only way I've figured out how to describe it is like, I'll call myself like a G-rated gigolo. So like, if I'm at a comedy show, like men can come up to me after the show and just like, tell me about the last time you were manning the grill.
Yeah.
And I'll just be super into it. I'll be like,
Or yeah.
brisket. It sounds so moist.
Or the last time you were in the gym, dude. You're like, oh,
You were lifting 350.
oh God, on bench.
And then-
tell me about your squat, daddy.
Yeah. And then women can come up to me and just like, show me a picture on your cell phone of your mom. And I'll just look at it and be like, you know what? You'll always be kinder, smarter, and prettier than she is.
What if you get pulled over and you give the cop like a gift basket? Like a giant gift basket. You're like, "Actually, officer, I do have something in the trunk for you." And they open it up, it's just like a giant gift basket,
God.
saran wrap.
I often get harassed when I get pulled over, though, and I think we talked about this on the show at one point. Because when they run your license, they can tell, like you said, if they have concealed.
Maybe it's I can't say that. It would give away personal information about you.
Oh.
Maybe it's because you're a bald white guy with ex-military
It's because of the
experience.
car you drive and what
and
your
the license plate.
says.
Yeah, well, that too. But when they pull up my license plate, they can tell that I'm a gun owner because I have my concealed carry. So every time I get pulled over, I feel the necessary urge to let the cop know, like, hey, my firearm is here, my hands are here, like every time. So if you are a concealed carrier, I do highly suggest if you get pulled over and you are carrying,
Already have your wallet out before the cop comes
know.
out.
A, let them know you have a firearm on you. B, where it's at in the car, and C, again,
Reach for your wallet
like
as fast
Braggin
as
was
possible.
saying.
Yeah,
Like-
super quick movements.
Yeah,
very
don't-
abrupt.
And don't do cocaine. They're not a fan of that. Don't be on cocaine carrying a firearm.
And if you're gonna do cocaine, offer it to them.
Yeah, I mean, not while they're
back
not,
to the bribing, you know, what
not
I mean?
during. They should be like, hey, here's something for after work for you.
Here's
Serve
a
it to them
bag.
on a knife,
Yeah.
and
Give them a quick bump.
Dude,
dude.
what if there was like a therapy thing for cops where they could just beat up a dummy? Like, what if you just signed up to be like the
they
cop,
do that
like beating
to innocent
back?
people all the time. So I don't think they need the.
Have we learned nothing from what's happened in the last few years?
Yeah, dude, what was it? Chicago where they choked that dude to death? Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're already out there. It's already happening.
Yeah.
But I do like that though. I like where your head's at. I think there's a concept there. I think that you could argue, like, would there be less unnecessary force used by police officers if we just like you said, you could sign up to
Like
just
a
be
homeless man.
yeah, be like, hey man,
We'll get you a hotel and a
here's
nice
$100
steak dinner
Here's a hot ham
and a
sandwich.
pack of cigarettes
And this cop is just going to beat the fuck out of you for 20 minutes real quick and detain you.
before every shift.
Just get it out of the system, dude. Just get it out of the system.
What if that
Honestly,
just-
I could get behind that if it was a rich
Good
dude.
Like
Or
it's like calibrating your speedometer. You know what I mean?
But
Except
also
violence level.
counterpoint, I think that could help and like make them less violent towards like civilians, or it could get them in the mood to just
Do
be-
more.
Yeah,
I had the
It
appetizer.
get
Now
them-
I want the entree.
Yeah.
Where's the...
I feel like it would not be as effective as.
Just imagine an octagon at the precinct. Like, yo, if you let this cop beat you up, we'll knock 6 months off your sentence.
I would.
All I'm thinking about is that poor Jewish kid that was getting arrested in fucking Jerusalem.
Was this a recent thing?
Can you Google? Go to Google. You got to see this poor Jewish kid that's getting. Go to just Jewish kid being arrested in. I think it was Israel. Jewish kid being arrested in Israel. So this kid was at a protest for the whole thing that's going on there right now. He was at a. Go to images. The picture is so fucking. Where is he at? He was like being carried off. Oh my God. Go down a little bit. Go down a little bit. Go down a little bit. Down. Damn, no, but he had like the hat.
I feel like I don't know if we
Yeah.
can show these people.
Yeah, we probably
no.
shouldn't.
The on screen is not on screen right
We
now.
established last time I was here. We mentioned that I've got some Jewish ancestry in me. Like I didn't see any of this in the email they send every week. Like there was something about, hey man, one of our guys got arrested.
They got one of us, man.
It was just, hey, here's another great Knish recipe.
no, but this kid, man, all I was thinking about was being unjustly like harassed or arrested, and this kid was at a protest for like the war that's going on. And these two cops are just beating the fuck out of a 9-year-old and and he's in like Orthodox Jewish, like he's got the top hat and the locks and he's just got like one shoe barely hanging off and they're just dragging this kid through. I was
A
like,
9-year-old?
this is so fucked up. Yeah, it was so fucked up, dude.
What's
it was
cool about
so fucked
Jerusalem
up.
is there's like a fireworks show every few months.
Yeah. Yeah. Every few nights, apparently. Dude, fucking Iran's popping off, bro. About to get the heat. Old Biden's coming after him. Did you hear about that? They're fucking Iran's making attacks over there now. So fucking Daddy Joe's getting all fired up. It's about to get spicy,
I
dude.
don't know if Daddy Joe can get fired up.
Well, dude, he takes a little fucking pill and he's fucking 3/4. You know what I mean? I don't know. We're at 30 minutes, man. Do you guys have anything else you want to? These are just going to be 30 minutes for now until we can start like figuring out and like how we want to like craft it and like tighten it up and. I don't know. Do you guys have anything you want to like touch base on before we fucking...
My only other thing I want to add is Guns and Hoses just happened. I want a version of that where
Where you can sign up and fight a cop?
Yeah, I can beat up a cop. And
That's
not
what you
get
should do. You
arrested
should
for
try
it.
to fight that cop that gave you a ticket.
I've good bit.
I've thought of that. Like,
such a good bit.
How do I put this?
How can you word it?
I'm never gonna forget because he said, like, as soon as he walks up, he says, "My name's Officer Redacted." So like, I'm never gonna forget this guy's name, and I think
we're talking about the speeding ticket.
That would be
cop,
lit.
yeah.
Imagine like so many people got arrested by this cop, and they're like, "Let's one-on-one duke."
And so the other thing I've thought of,
1v1, bro.
in a ring,
If you win, your record is expunged.
right?
oh,
Dude, put money on the table? I even like that more, dude.
so the other
God
thing,
damn, Drew, that's such a good fucking idea.
the thing I thought of a long time ago is a similar. It's Guns and Hoses. Let's say it's for charity also.
Yeah, for
But,
blind
like,
kids.
blind kids. But no, so like my idea is, I think we've all had bosses at work that rub us the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
If we could do Guns and Hoses, but it's me against that one boss who fired me, or the other boss who just like he's got his issues, but I still want to take a swing at this guy.
Yeah.
If I could fight those two guys for charity, not at the same time, like bring them on one at a time.
Oh, yeah.
What if businesses had like boxing rings with gloves, and if you and a coworker got into it, you could just
I don't think
both
HR
sign a
signs off
waiver?
on that. I don't think HR signs off
There
on
was
that.
Well, honestly, that you can get away with that. Just go across the street off company
Right.
property.
Meet me
and
out
you're
by the
all-
bike racks.
I'm just
Fair
trying to think
game.
of what the name for the cons versus cons versus cops versus cons.
that you could workshop
You
something
literally
like that.
just call it cops and robbers.
Or, ooh, you could just cops and robbers, cops and cons and cops, something like that. You could workshop it. That's such a good fucking idea, Drew. God, you're so full. You're so young, so full of great ideas.
All right,
He's wise beyond his years.
let's
He
write
is.
up. Let's go to ChatGPT. Write up a thing for my mayor, and
All right, man. I don't
let's
really.
fix the Lloyd mayor, whatever.
It's not
Stephanie
Winnicky.
Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephanie.
I don't.
Terry.
Thankfully, I don't even live in city limits, which is great. Like somebody asked me, like, who are you voting for mayor? Absolutely nobody, because I don't have to.
I'm not held liable for whatever the fuck happens in that shitty city.
Yep.
Also, just a big shout out to fucking Boonville, dude. I have to reiterate, we did last week's episode at Tom's house in Boonville. Garbage fucking town. I fucking hate that place. And I just have to, I feel like it's almost
You didn't
necessary.
like the one ways.
No, I don't like that. You're driving on the downtown fucking road.
The square. Yeah.
And yeah, you're driving and you see the McDonald's up on the hill and you're like, yeah, this is cool. And then all of a sudden, my road goes this way and then the oncoming traffic just disappears off. And now you're on this weird fucking downtown one-way you agree, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's
fucking
weird.
dude. And Boonville just needs to
Yeah, get on that,
fucking
Tom.
figure it
We'll
out.
work on that.
I'll use ChatGPT.
Talk to who's the
right
mayor of
there.
Boonville?
Mayor
Who's the
Charlie Wyatt. I know that because he has
God damn.
Jesus Christ. ChatGPT is in the podcast studio.
we mentioned
What was
last
his name?
time.
Hold on, what was it?
Mayor Charlie Wyatt of Boonville, Indiana.
Okay,
We
okay.
mentioned this last time I was here. One of my jobs is I'm the morning show host at 99.9 FM and 1540 AM WBNL radio in Boonville, Indiana.
You got been
And-
there, done that,
yeah.
got the shirt to prove it.
And he hasn't been in for a while because he's like busy with other stuff. But normally, 2 or 3 days a week, he'll just come into the radio station around noon and say, "Hey, Boonville, Mayor Charlie Wyatt here. Here's what's going on in the city that you should know about."
Oh,
Like,
so nice.
yeah, it's cool because like you figure in Evansville, I wouldn't be surprised. I could see like maybe once a month the mayor showing up at
But
a
not
radio
every week,
station.
You should,
saying
you should
shit's
tell him to
going
come on the podcast so Brian can.
Fix that fucking downtown road. Let's make this
Okay,
happen.
I will.
Let's make this happen.
I will say this.
And I'll swear a lot less when he comes on.
I think he might be an ordained minister, so you might have to bring the 4-letter words down a lot.
I think if he knows that I'm a war-torn veteran, he might have some.
Okay.
some-
Okay, what about court cases? So, like, I bought
Look
these
up a picture of
Pokemon
this
games
guy.
off
Look up
this
the
guy,
Boonville governor.
and he didn't
picture.
show up, and so he didn't show up to court. So now he's got a warrant out for his arrest over some Pokemon games, which is going to be just funny as fuck to get arrested over not selling a nerd some video
This-
games.
Is this him?
No, I don't know who Chris.
That's the
Lindley is.
mayor,
That might be Boonville.
There it is.
There.
Charlie Wyatt. Can we get a
There's gotta
picture?
be- yeah.
But could you imagine like
Yeah, right there.
That's
Yeah,
him?
those first couple.
Dude,
are him. That's
sick.
Could you
Goatee.
imagine small court claims is just like an arena? Like, imagine the taxpayer money that can be made off of just like boxing in general.
You and Pokemon Boy just go hands.
Right. Me and this like
Dude, shout out
6-year-old man.
to Charlie Wyatt, dude. Okay, honest to God.
Shout out to this guy.
And yeah, wait, hold on. Is this the same man?
No, that's a different guy.
Same facial hair, different color. Got it. Okay. And same name. But no, shout out to the Boonville mayor. Charlie Wyatt, dude, if you come in here, I swear, dude, I will be on my best behavior. Okay, man. We're like at 40 minutes now. So any more wild cards you guys want to pull out? Jesus Christ, where was all this fucking material when we started, dude?
I mean, it takes me a while to get into Charlie Wyatt mode on a podcast.
Yeah, no, I get it. We should probably start doing that more often. Just like fire the show up and then not do an intro and just let it and just riff. And then we start where we start. That's what we need to think about that. We'll talk more about it. But no, I'm good if you guys are, man. Do you have last minute questions or wild card bullshit?
No, you can do the outro since I can't say cachet. Right?
Yeah. You're fine.
I mean, can I? If this is a comedy cachet, can I get some plugs in for the show?
Yeah, dude. Honestly, do you want to do the outro? You do the outro too. Just make it up as you go. You're on the radio. This is the Comedy Cachet.
You're listening to the Comedy Cachet on the Days Grimm podcast. I've been special guest Paul Braggin. We've got shows. There's the weekly open mic show at Damsel's Brew Pub on the west side of Evansville at Wabash Avenue, hosted by Alan Walker. And then, of course, we've got the monthly open mic show on the first Thursday of every month at the Jennings Street Public House in Newburgh, Indiana. We'd love to see you at all of those. And then check the interwebs for other comedy shows. We've got comedy shows hosted usually on a monthly basis by guys like Danny Browning and Dustin Madison and Curtis Crow. He was somebody I mentioned the last. I didn't mention him by name, but he's the one I mentioned, based out of Huntingburg, Indiana, who also got his start by going to Chicago for work and then doing comedy shows.
Chirac, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Fuck around and get run over or shot or both. Same time.
Yeah.
Stabbed.
It happens, dude. All right, man. So I feel really good about it. I think this is a good episode. More to come. There are going to be plenty more comedy cachets. More to come. Come, I get it. God, you're disgusting. Jesus Christ.
It's been another thrilling episode. My name is Thomas Grimm.
My name is Brian Day.
I'm Drew Head.
I'm Paul Braggin.
Thank you guys so much. God bless you. All right. See you later.